So hello everyone, Morgan here. Welcome to my guide of Spring Anime 2018. What anime I think is gonna be good, and I will watch and I will react to. Of course, there are some animes I probably just watch, not react to, and one of them maybe I will quit and so on, right? But generally, what I think is gonna be the good animes coming this next season here. So first of all, we have of course the continuation of Seven Deadly Sins, season 2, which I'm already related to. It's a great anime, one of my favorite animes, and so yeah, I mean, we haven't got this so far yet into the anime, but clearly this kind of, there's 10 Commandments versus 17, it's a very interesting battles, it's a good flashback so far. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't, but I think it's a really good shonen anime, one of my favorite ones, and it's definitely a watch, of course, in my book, so it's very, very easily watching. I mean, I'm already watching it, so yeah, but I recommend that you pick it up if you haven't watched it yet. So anyway, easy one. Next one, oh yeah, 7 is good, shonen. But this is one of my all-time favorites, right? Soki no Souma. So this is season 3, part 2. And I was surprised that last season, the winter, before the winter here, where the anime ended. I was like, what? Isn't it like a 20th episode? So it had a little break, and now it's coming back again, right? Yeah, I loved last season. I think it was amazing, super funny. I reacted, reviewed to that every episode. I think there were like no bad episodes. Every episode was great. I think this anime is easily one of the best animes, I think, in my book. It's a very, very good anime. I mean, we have characters like Nikumi, but Souma is so good. I mean, I love the comedy, I love the orgasms, and my boy Souma, I just love him so much, and I cannot wait now when Erina knows. Sorry, yeah, but I mean, spoilers there with Erina, and it's gonna be really great seeing how that's gonna unfold now in the next season. And also, when every time I hear his voice, yesterday Sam's voice, does Souma, I always hear it right. There's such an iconic voice for some reason. I always hear him in, for example, Place for the Universe right now. So basically, also Grancrest is in there as well. Well, anyway, so I mean, these ones are very obvious, very easy. The most popular animes here, very shonen, and so what can be the next then that is also very popular? Well, My Hero Academia! Jag har not yet another shonen anime. It's like, yeah, these shonen are popular. Of course, shonen is the most, watch genre. And yeah, My Hero Academia is obviously, following Deku, right? Deku Scrub. It's, I love it. I remember I cried when I watched episode 4, actually, from Raised Images from. I think it was so beautiful here, how Deku is like, no, I have to save the girl even though I won't get any points, showing his heroism. So yeah, obviously, me, like everyone else, excited to see season 3, right, of My Hero Academia. I did react to it last year, and actually, yeah, most of my viewed, especially those mashup reactions, probably one of my most viewed videos on YouTube. So of course, I personally will react to it. I mean, it's kind of can't mean, but you do react to these things to get most views anyway. It's a tell. Take a title and My Hero brings you the most stuff, but generally, me, I love My Hero Academia, so obviously. And then we have, I think the top 4 here are amazing, because then we have Darling in France, I'm already watching it. What can you say, right? It's the best girl. It's, if you haven't watched the anime yet, definitely should start watching it. It's about a character, it's the best girl ever. No, but seriously, Zerotwo, it's an amazing character. She's super funny, super badass. I think she's probably so far one of the best written female characters in the anime. At least when it comes to kind of the badass tomboy sample, like the kind of tough girl. Very, very exciting character. Of course, though, it's very, very cringe sexual based anime where it's like, try to make us, and we have to I mean, obviously, and it's very weird, but it's very Japanese. But it's like, man, this anime. I mean, Zero 2, right? Zero 2. This scene yesterday, yeah. Zero 2. I want to spoil but you should watch the last episode in France. It's amazing. This scene here from the last episode, and I mean, obviously, oh sorry, that was wrong. The best girl, yeah, she's fantastic. She is truly, truly fantastic. And my quick spoiler there, yeah, for the next anime, which I am probably not gonna watch, is Tokyo Ghoul. So yeah, here, let's put on it. Kaneki, Walking with Hida. It's season 3 here, so this is season 3 of Tokyo Ghoul, and you might remember it as the worst anime ever. Like, it's ridiculously bad. I truly, truly hated these clowns, and So if you didn't know, right, Studio Pero, no, my camera is covering that thing, but Studio Pero, that is French for clowns, right? So I usually refer them to clowns. I actually probably will watch this thing, honestly. I probably will like go here, watch an episode, and then skipping it. No, but seriously, I mean, they made season 2 so horrible. Like, I have zero confidence in them in doing season 3, and everyone should have that. These clowns, they made the pacing of season 2 is horrendous. So they're doing like double the pacing of season 1 that's a bit high pacing. So they're doing like 10 chapters per episode, and it's absurdly quickly paced, and it skipped over like half the storylines, right? And they all don't skip things, they also kind of mix things together so that they're fighting the bad guys at another place where shouldn't be, and then they skip all the characters. It's absurdly confusing, and they were like, oh no, but we made another like unique anime story, and it's like, but it made no sense. This made the story absolutely worse. It's cut away everything. And I guess season 3 here is gonna be based on the anime ending, right? Not the actual manga ending. Because the manga is like one massive manga audience, and then it has a new manga, time skip, and that's like the Tokyo Ghoul. So I'm guessing this anime still will be based on the anime they made, right? If it was based on how the manga ends and everything happened in the manga, that would be better. But I don't think they will do that, and I'm just very, very doubtful for this anime because I think it's gonna be horrible. I assume it's gonna be a crap anime, honestly, and I don't recommend it for a second compared to what they did. What they did last time. That was so bad, and I have zero confidence. Again, zero confidence that they can do it. And I actually have read the manga for that matter. So that's the thing. I read the manga as, of course, the anime was so horrible. So I went and read the manga because I was like, how can anime be this bad? And some people say that, oh, but anime manga readers, they hated the anime because it wasn't correct. No, I watched the anime first, season 1 and 2. Not read the manga at all. I watched the anime and I was like, what is this? This is just crap. It's not making any sense. This is illogical, horrible, and they kind of carrying hidden. Like they have the biggest horrible pacing. Then the last episode is like one scene for 20 minutes. It's ridiculously bad. Ending is so bad. But anyway, so I watched the anime, went to the manga, read the manga after watching the anime, and I was like, wow, this is so much different. This is 10 times better. The manga is fantastic. The anime is absolutely horse crap. And of course, after I read that manga, I went after this manga then, but the continuation manga. So I read the beginning of this, and which I guess the anime is gonna, be about, and I just cannot see how they're gonna like connect the thing into following the anime again. So whatever, this anime probably will suck. People will probably love it. Maybe it has an amazing opening, like the first has an amazing opening. It's potentially, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend it. I'm already watching Grancrest. I'm already watching Grancrest. And if you watched my live reaction last Friday, it was like, what is this ending? I'm not gonna spoil it, but that was one of my biggest reactions this season. And I was like, what's happening? This anime, it's like Fire Emblem, the anime, and it was pretty decent. But last episode was like, what is this ending? I don't want to spoil, but basically that was probably the biggest upset I saw this year. Yeah, this season. There's been other really good episodes, like there's been one episode with Evergarden and so on, where I cried and so on, right? But I mean, like, this episode is how they ended. That was the most twisted mind. Yeah, I was like, wow. So this anime has some potential to be even crazier and weirder in this next season. I don't know how much. Maybe it's gonna be much more tame. But the ending last week was like, what happened? Where did this anime go? Yeah, like you jump from like a teenage shonen anime to like weird. Yeah, I don't want to spoil, but like a massive twist scene there with very, very explicit scene, and I was like, wow, this is went to like berserk level of it almost. Yeah, I was like, wow, this is probably like, if it wasn't animated, it would probably be less censored. And I was like, this is just crazy. So yeah, so I'm definitely watching this season to see where it goes. I want to see how it goes and how it ends. So yeah, it has a lot of potential. And yeah, I mean, high school D&D, it's kind of like, you want some ecchi, you want to see some nude girls. It's probably gonna be two different versions of this anime. It's gonna be an uncensored version and a censored version, right? So you probably should wait for the uncensored version to come out a week, usually a bit later. Depends on how they do it, but it could be like a month later, up to like 2 months later. I mean, high school D&D, they are nude a lot when they fight and so on. So it's an ecchi show. I don't dislike it really, but it's not the best ecchi show. I think there are much better ecchi shows, like Souma, for example, which is not this is much more etchy though, but like Souma has the etchy and it's like good, right? It's a good storyline and it's etchy. But like more classic harem shows like Tenshi Moyo or Lohiden, I think are much better. They're much better storyline, better characters. So I think it's like an okay anime, but it's not the best. So I'm kind of like, maybe I watch it. You know, it's not like the Beatless was an anime that started last season, and I thought it was really bad. Maybe I get some hate now, but I talked about it last season. I talked about it in my review like a few months back, and I usually did not care about it. I was like, oh, it's a really boring. The setting is like showbiz or whatever, right? Guy finds android is cute, android has no feeling for love, but he's gonna fall out with her anyway, he's gonna teach her love, right? And it sounds good as a premise, but man, the main character, first of all, is super boring. Maybe, I haven't watched the latest episodes, I will admit that, I have not watched more than just the first few episodes, and then I was like, I'm out of here, yeah. It did not pass my, 3 rules of, I was like, no, I have better anime to watch. It's like, on the Friday slot for this goes, it's like Killing Bites, Hakata, Ramens, I'm like, those shows are much better. I can only watch amount of shows, in a time frame, right? I'm like, no, I would much rather Killing Bites than this thing. Much better. Killing Bites is much better. And I was like, yeah, it just felt very plain to me, honestly. Especially the main character sister, they were really boring. In my opinion, they're a really bad main character. And it was very cliche, right? We've seen the storyline 10 times before. And all the girls are like overly sexualized when they're doing stuff like, oh, I'm using a rocket launcher, look at my, and it's like, what's she doing this for? Why can't she just fight it? Yeah, it's just ridiculous. And the only thing I liked in this anime was that the world is full of androids, so it's really cool how like kind of the store clerk and like this androids like helping you going across the street, so kind of like protecting you going home from shopping and so on. I love that though, that the world was like very integrated with android. That's a really cool touch to it. Made it feel very realistic actually in the future. That was really good, but everything else was bad, in my opinion. That's the only good part. Steins Gate. This is probably actually a really good anime. I'm considering it. This is me personally though, because I know that. Well, I mean, I'm kind of like I'm talking about like what I think is good here. I think it's good generally, right? Steins Gate. I have a few friends, especially one friend that loves this anime and the games. His favorite game. And but in my opinion, it's not bad, but it's complicated, right? So I would recommend this anime. Like, this gotta be an anime, yeah, because like my heroes anime, I think everyone can like, yeah, awesome. This Steins Gate stuff, like time traveling, and this is like an alternative ending of the other ones. So I actually like Steins Gate, and I played the game to PS4, the newest one. But this anime here requires you. Well, not requires you, but I read the synopsis and I read the Wikipedia and so on, and I read the difference here. So this is like an alternative version of one of the endings of the first one. I mean, to enjoy this anime, I haven't watched it of course yet, but I assume to enjoy it, you have to have played the first game and watched the first anime. Potentially you have to play the second game. So I see what point you're right. You're kind of quite invested to last anime. Probably. Maybe you can just watch it. But I think that this is like season 3, kind of ish. And also this anime, like many other animes based on games like this, or kind of vice versa, they have a lot of the extra content in the games, and I don't think people play the games right. So I think that's also the thing here. You probably have to play even the game to enjoy this anime to its fullest degree at least. So that's why I'm saying I don't think it's a bad anime, but I think it's very much like you have to have a very high power level to get into it, in my opinion. Well, I think that's probably pretty factually. Sword Art Online, ever hates to go on. No, but seriously, it's like, okay, now they are FPSing again, and I don't want to bother. It's like, I don't care. Anyway, so now we go to this anime. Wotaku no Koi wo Muzukashii, I think I said it correctly. This I haven't heard about before, so I have to read about it a bit, and I read like the first chapter, so to speak, and it gives me a good feeling, because it reminds me of gamers, right? And I loved gamers. I think everyone loved gamers. Gamers is a relationship anime at its finest. Fantastic anime. Really, really funny. If it wasn't for Konosuba last year, this game would absolutely be the funniest anime. It was the second funniest anime then. But Konosuba is like a god-sent anime. So, yeah. But Game was really, really good as well. This anime here is about, how do I say it? It's like a female. This is more like an adult version of gamers, a bit, right? They're more grown up. They're kind of like, two-person. They're both kind of like games, and yeah, and they're like, blah, 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 and they don't really good at it, because they're both kind of nerdish and they haven't really done that stuff and so on. So it feels like, both a woman and a man here, they're both kind of like, oh, how do you do this thing and so on. So it's, for me, it reminds me of gamers a lot. So I liked it a lot. So I'll give it. I definitely hope it's gonna be good anime. I think it might be a good anime. I liked it a lot when I read about it, and the first thing I saw. No, I haven't gone the whole through manga, but I just read the first chapter. I was like, yeah, it's kind of like gamers. They are grown up. It's like gamers, but they are of course, gamers is much more confusing for all the characters. These people are more sane, I guess. Yeah. So it's not as extreme as gamers, but I think it could be a very nice anime. Also, probably a little more romantic, like more actual grown-up romance in it. So I think it's gonna be a good anime at least. Persona 5 the anime, very similar to Steins Gate. Persona 5 is a fantastic JRPG. It's extremely popular. My brother loves this game. He one of his favorite JRPG. He really loves Persona 5. But yeah, it's a great JRPG. Here's the animation of it. It's very animated in the game. I don't think you need to actually play the game to enjoy the anime. But I would say, considering it's like it's still a similar thing here. With Steins Gate, you probably have to kind of like in that if you play the game, the anime probably looks better. But maybe also the story will be spoiled then. So I don't know. I'm unsure. But I think you probably enjoy it more if you play the game. So I'm getting considering here. This is an anime which I'm pretty sure they had last year, but I'm wondering if it's one here. Anyway, I talked about the anime last year then, Jinzuki Kosuken Creature. I thought about it last year. It's kind of like one of these all about monster girl anime, but less interesting. So basically, it's about a family where everyone is like some kind of monster. They live together because parents are scientists. It's not a very. I thought it was very uninteresting last year, but I'm sure yeah. Well, anyway, I did it last year, and then I guess they whatever. And here, Devil Slide. Actually, was it anything? It did not look very good to me, honestly. Basically, this is like Twilight, This is a Twilight. It really is. I watched a trailer. I read the first chapter before I did this video. I looked into it and I was like, man, this feels like Twilight the anime. Of course, there are other animes like that, much older than Twilight. But again, here it gives that feeling. It's like, oh, girl is out and becomes saved by vampire. She falls in love with vampire. Look at the trailers, like they're kissing each other and so on. Yeah, it's very much to that storyline where like a normal female with no reason to be here meets devils and vampires. I think they're more devils than werewolves, instead of a werewolf. And then it's like triangle drama, and she falls in love with the vampire because of reasons and so on. Right? It's to me it looks kind of meh. So I'm like, yeah, it looks kind of meh. Very much like anime version of Twilight. As a premise, though, of course, it's more action-based. It's an anime, so it'll be more fighting and so on. But I think as a premise, kind of. Anyway, so then we have Tarakun wo Koi Shinai. This might be a good anime. I watched the trailers for it. There's no there's original anime. There's no manga, so I want to read. It's about a guy that meets a girl, and then they take them to like a tea shop, and they kind of work at this tea store, a tea coffee. It looks pretty interesting. It's romance comedy. It might be fun. It's hard to say. I think it might be a fun anime, but it's probably not the most exciting anime. I think it's probably a decent middle. And then here again, this is another game-based anime, Caligula. Named after the Caligula effect. There's a game is called named after Caligula, the Roman emperor. So it's like, and I probably don't recommend this anime. It might be good, but this is yet again a thing here, as with Steins Gate, as with Persona 5. But I think this is much more as in the Steins Gate case, where it's like, well, this thing is based on a game, based on this thing, and then it's like 2 games and blah blah blah. So this is probably hard to get into if you probably like watchable. You have not played the games, you probably can watch it anyway. But I think it's yet again an anime where it's like, if you play the games, it's much more entertaining for you. So I think it's probably not a good. Here, however, though, because I'm definitely this is an anime that I'm very excited about, which is called 3D Kanyo, real good. So Kanyo means girlfriend in Japanese, and basically it's a guy that's like he's like 2D girls or shit, right? And he's like 2D girls or everything. Like he's all like 3D woman, forget about them. I want my 2D girls. And then he needs this woman, right? And she's like, no. She falls in love with him for some reason. She's like, I'm gonna make him like 3D girls. Yeah. And that's why it's called like 3D girlfriend, right? He's like, no, I don't want a 3D girlfriend. I want a 2D girlfriend. I think the anime looks really, really exciting. Read the first chapter. It reminds me of Genshin. As well, Genshin again, one of my absolute favorite mangas. If you read the mangas about, also anime, right? There's an anime, yeah, it's an anime manga. People there have like a game, an anime club, and one of the main characters, he has a very hot girlfriend. Oh god, can't remember her name right now, but yeah, sorry. But he has a very attractive girlfriend, right? And she likes him because he's very attractive, mainly, not because he's like a good hobby or something. They dating someone, and she's always trying to like, can you please stop being a game nerd? I was trying to get him out of it. Yeah, I love Genshin. I love her. She's my favorite character. The recipe is awesome. And this anime here reminds me a lot of that. You know, it's like this nerd otaku guy, and then he gets this really, you know, like a normal girl. He's like, no, please stop being this. Let's be a normal people. He's like, no. So I think it's gonna be awesome. This to me is one of my exciting anime. It also is yosei. It means it's based on, you know, for female audience, kind of, right? So that to me makes it also interesting, and I got the vibe from it when I read it. That means that I think it's almost from the female perspective more as well. Where Genshin is kind of like blurred. This might be more, you know, you see it from the woman's perspective. She's like, well, if you're in love with a gamer, how do you get it to stop playing games? And how do you, like, you know, from that angle, it's like, how do you, you know, seduce a guy that's into shooting us more like in that, instead of seeing from his angles? I think that also makes it sound really interesting. So I think this anime is gonna be awesome. One of my probably like top animes, actually. Yeah, 3D Canyon. I think this is really, really awesome. Shrine Maiden Fighting, I talked about it last season. Very interesting anime. Also, I don't like that anime, comedy anime, so I'm a big fan of. For Metal Panic, it's you know, season 4. I remember 10 years ago I watched the anime. It's a very, very classical anime. Actually, I mean, I probably watched it, but in a way, it's probably like this. Because I don't think most people have watched it. I mean, this is the 4 of an anime they did in like 2000, right? And then this is 1, 2, and 3. This is like super old. It's like Code Geass coming as well, right? And yeah, like I don't know. It's just very, very old. So I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it personally, but for most people out there, I don't think most people have seen it. So yeah. Here, okay. So Golden Cameo, I think it's a very interesting anime. It's the manga is quite popular, or you know, quite recommended. I have not read the manga except chapter 1 for this thing, but it's a historical manga on Hokkaido area. I think it's very interesting. One thing I noticed very definitely is that Ainu is important here. So if you look at this map here, see my circle I did here. That's kind of where the Ainu people are, or used to be, not today then. But so Ainu is like another ethnicity group from Hokkaido, the second island, which is today Russia, and those it's called Kuril Islands, yeah, which is also part of Russia today. But the Japanese have claims on them, so they actually belong to Japan. Kind of arguably belongs to Japan. But yeah, so in the past tense, right, in history, that were not Russian. They were Ainu country, I guess, or Ainu kind of people living there. And then Russia conquered it. Well, Japan conquered it first, and then Russia conquered it from Japan. So you know how it goes. But yeah, but in the past, right, Russia wasn't as big, right? Right, Russia wasn't as big. They mainly had presence in Europe, right? And then they expanded towards the east, towards Siberia, and so on. Right? Yeah, they did not have much stuff, you know, close to Japan in like 500 years ago. So in this anime, it's gonna be, listen to the manga. They speak Ainu. And I think that's very interesting. They might speak Ainu in the anime. It can be really cool to hear. So I think that alone makes the anime very interesting to me, Golden Kamuy here, that they're gonna speak Ainu language. That sounds very interesting. Generally, I like history stuff. It seems to be quite... it's all saying like, oh, it's like Berserk, but it's kind of like, maybe more like, what's that anime called with the cowboy guy? Oh my god, I can't remember it. The Crossroad stuff. Oh, it's like Green Blood, something like that? Oh, sorry, I can't remember it now, but it was a manga a few years back that was very good about a guy living at a 5 crossroad in like New York, and then he goes and leaves that place and goes to like become a cowboy in the Wild West, and that's like a very, very bloody, you know, like how do you survive? It's like if you're poor in like a new America, right? It's a very good manga. I think it's called Green Blood. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think, yeah, and this to me sounds similar to that, right? It's like, how do I survive here? You know, Hokkaido, it has been like a war, there's been like major restoration, kind of like Rurouni Kenshin, and it's kind of like how to find your, you know. So I think it's very interesting. I like it a lot. And also that makes it more bloody, right? It's like real fighting and surviving and so on, more than the shonen animes. Because it's like, yeah, we do the same. Anyway, so this anime I actually found so interesting. The image here from Hinamatsuri here doesn't look very good. Or like, oh, it's a blood or something. But this is an anime about a guy that's in the Yakuza, and he finds this girl with superpowers or something, and then she helps him like advance in the Yakuza inner circle or something. And it's like, it just that the image here, I mean, they have the kind of relationship, yeah, but but you can see it here, right? Yeah, here, on a nightstand, find Yakuza member, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, the image here. Oh, I read the first chapter of the manga. It's an interesting storyline. I like it. I like it. It might be something good. Then Akun to Kanoyo, yet another one like comedy. I mean, it might be funny, but when I read this thing, to me it was deserving to be later in the list. It did not at all. 3D Kanyos had way more fun and so on. The other like comedy animes coming here sounded way more better, and I'm kind of like 2 or 3 comedy animes per season. Yeah, I'm like, nah, this sounds like it's just more boring. It's like it's very soon remade character. To me, it sounds pretty uninteresting. It's just kind of cliche. Been there, done that. And then this anime, Mahou Shoujo Site. I actually thought it was going to be some isekai. When I read the synopsis, I was like, what? It's about a girl finding powers from a game or a computer screen. Yeah, I mean, if you read it sounds like it's isekai, in my opinion, right? It's like she flashes from the computer screen, she gets powers, or she, works her. Yeah, I mean, that synopsis reads exactly like an isekai. You play the computer, you fly into the screen, and suddenly you are in the Mahou Shoujo world. But I read the manga, the first chapter, and no, not at all. She's more like she gets powers like in the real world. And she like accidentally murders people in the real world because she can kind of like death note and killing them, and then she fights people and so on. Right? So it's actually about a girl gets a kind of murderous assassination power, whatever you want to call it, in the real world, and then she will of course get in conflict with other girls. But yeah, it's not isekai, even though synapse makes it sound isekai, definitely. But that's wrong. And then we have this thing, which you have to watch because you know how much I love. You know how much I love Zerotwo. It's one of my favorite animes. I'm like, oh yeah, some Yoshushin. That's when it's reached that moment here. Yeah, so this anime, Tachibana-kan Lee Angle, is about. It sounds to me like a more mature version of Zerotwo. It's about a girl. She was with other girls, right? It sounds very hentai. Yeah, she's like, oh, how is this thing? It's a Yuri, okay? It's a Yuri anime, but like females living together and stuff turned into Yuri. So it's probably awesome. It's probably awesome. It's probably what we want. It's probably what we deserve. But yeah, it sounds good. Cake Obscura, follow up. Very, very popular anime. Oh yeah. So we have Junshiki Pandora here, and I don't know. This sounds very shiny. It's very like mediocre. I don't know here. Here, say wise, it's like, oh, here's based on this thing. If you say so, I don't know. It's also like based on a manga, but that's based on the other thing. It actually kind of sounds like. What's on my game? Actually, okay, let's watch the first. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. Okay, I'm gonna watch it. It's like some kind of like, say, I don't know. It sounds bored bad, but this sounds like a bad version. Yeah, Piano no More. It sounds like a bad version of Would You Lie in April? Right? It's a piano guy, piano. Yeah, I don't know. It might be really beautiful. I think it's kind of mediocre. This anime. I skipped it last year. This is an anime that should have been released last year. And I remember I talked about it in my video last year. Like a year ago maybe. No, less than that. Maybe half a year ago maybe. When I did my first video. Something like that, yeah. Anyway, it did not sound very interesting back then. And apparently something happened to the studio. And they had to delay it by half a year or so then. Since I did my last video. And that to me is definitely a good sign. I mean, I was not feeling the anime last year, and I definitely don't feel it when I know they've been delayed, right? So definitely, I probably won't watch the thing. I don't recommend it. It sounds boring. Yeah, it's about guys fighting. Whatever. Yeah, no, watch it. Yeah, this sounds really boring. Really boring. I read the first chapter. it's about two twins that you know, they have as Nellies and they have some kind of incest, and I don't know, not very much, but a little bit, and it's like, you know, sister complex. Yeah, it's just it's like a really bad version. Here, it's yet another one, girls living with Hashimoto no Kami-sama, reminds me a bit of. Girl that is good at cooking gets kidnapped because her grandfather has a debt to the demons, and then she's living in some kind of magical yokai world where she's like a chef or something. It's sounds kind of mediocre, yeah, like we've seen it before, quite mediocre. Then yeah, then this is based on one of those like dating games or tournament games. Yet another like, oh, you have to play this game, yeah, I don't care. It's very low ranked here. This might be funny about girls that do, you know, their own manga. Yeah, like about females want to do their own comic girls. Yeah, they want to do their own manga. It might be funny. Oh yeah, this anime, The Outcast 2. Wait, it's going now, episode 9. Okay, I'm just confused with this thing. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. I checked it out. Oh, it's going now. Wait, this is going now. I don't even recognize it from this going now. Okay, I assume it wasn't done. I haven't heard about it. It's going now. Okay, let's skip it then. I guess it's not that good. This might be good. It's like about people living in space when the world has been destroyed, but now we live in space somewhere, and we do stuff. We like the space aspect of life. So that's kind of funny. Might be good. I'm not gonna watch soccer anime. It's Basa. Don't recommend it. And yeah, like now we're going down here. So now we're getting like this. I guess the children's show more the Kodamasov. Yeah, no, it's gonna be. I don't know. You know, no, it's gonna be kind of. Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, this anime. This is. I mean, earlier we had the whole. What it's called? Twilight. Twilight. And now instead we have. You know, Fifty Shades of Grey. Yeah, this is the anime of that. Being serious, this anime, Amai Shibatsu, is like woman is in prison, even to the innocent. That just really be shown and very, very attractive male guy that's like torture her in a, you know, a sexual way, and she likes it, right, or something. It's like, yeah, this is the anime. Yeah, this is the anime. It's exactly the anime. It's very ecchi. It's very much the Yuwase anime, where it's like, okay, female getting, you know, telling, oh, I don't like it, but she actually loves it, right? Yeah, and she's like, oh, being broken down as some kind of slave. Yeah, like it's just weird. It's weird. I don't know. It's of course you watch it. It's super awesome. I don't know, but I mean, picture this anime. This is 50 Shades of Grey for anime. It really is. It's the exact same thing. You know, basically the premise, right? It's like, you know, girl gets this enslaved by a guy and she likes it. Yeah, it's the same thing. The premise-wise, at least, it's very, very similar. And then we have a lot of very, legendary heroes. It's like a remake of that. It's like I think. Oh yeah, here we go. This is the last one I actually really want to talk about. The rest of these animes is whatever in the bottom here. But this I want to talk about. This is Maho Shoujo Ore. So Ore is like kind of how a man says. So that's the name. So let me just name that. So Maho, you know, is magic. Shoujo is girl. But Ore means, it's kind of like how you can say Watashi, which means me. But Ore is kind of like how a boy says me. Not necessarily, Watashi is just for everyone. But Ore is more like a male version how to talk about yourself. So the name comes from that, right? So it's like magical girl, boy. Kind of, yeah. Or magical girl, that's kind of how you can read the title. So yeah. That's the Japanese behind the title there. As you can see, it's a guy in a magical girl suit. And thinking, what is it? It's a guy turning into like this. Oh, is it a campfire where a guy has to be like a female hero fighter or so on, right? Not really. It's the reverse. I'm really excited about it. Yeah, it's the reverse, and it sounds very random what happened to me. So I'm excited about this anime. Actually, might be a really cool anime. So it's about a girl, and she gets magical powers because her mom or something used to be a magical, shoujo magical girl, right? So she gets powers, but when she gets the powers, she becomes a man. Yeah, so she turns into a male with, you know, all the stuff, right? And she's like, oh yeah, this is weird, and she has to do it to fight demons or whatever, right? So she does that thing. Then her best friend, or kind of whatever, some woman she's best friend with, or, you know, close to, and so to speak, she falls in love with her in her male form. Yeah, her best friend is like, oh, she's so hot now as a man. So yeah, like I read basically of it, and it's awesome. It's like it's very gender bender. It's very this weird, you know, like transsexual trap anime where it's like, no, main character change gender. Other people like her in the new gender, but she has like a boyfriend with other gender, and it's confusing. And then her best friend also gets this power. She also turns into a man, and the best friend also dates her as a woman, right? This sounds awesome. It's like very similar to Ranma, one of my absolute favorite mangas, and of course animes, but especially the manga, very classic manga for me. You know, very very old school manga. Where if you should read Ranma. It's fantastic. Main character turns into a woman, and then he has several guys that wants to date him as a woman, right? But also has a fiance as a man, and then he has like 3 or 4 other fiancés as a man, and he has like 7, you know, he's tried not to do it, but he has like 7 or 8 people trying to date him from, you know, 4 of each gender and so on, right? It's really confusing, and it's really really awesome, right? And he gets in long weird situations. I guess first spoiler is to a man and so on, right? Yeah, it's very classic, very fantastic manga. And this Mao Shoujo Ore sounds similar, probably less comedic than Ranma. Ranma is very very comedy, but still in a very similar manner. So I think it sounds awesome. It's like used to think that she becomes a man and her best friend falls in love with her as a man, right? It's like, damn it, it's me, you know. It's like I'm your best friend. It sounds weird, Yuri, but not. Yeah, it's like, you know, I think it's awesome. I think it's gonna be good. Then the rest here is just like, oh, anime no one ever cared about. Best list that no one watching right now either. I know, yeah, I turned it down last season. You know, some random things. Very very Kodomo. I think it's all. Oh yeah, you watched Pedal. I hated the episode. I hated the Monday episode. Worst episode I think so far. I don't want to spoil here, but that episode ended horrendous. They ended at the middle of it horrendous. I think they jumped the shark, honestly. So I probably watched it, but. I'm very disappointed with it went last week. I'm disappointed how it ended last year. So I don't know. This sport anime is going downhill. This I turned down last year. Last season. Hakuyo, yeah, it's like an anime remake of a 10-year-old anime. It was very popular. Basically, I talked about it last season. Oh yeah, Fist of North Star. This is some weird like re-version of it. I think it was a new. Yeah, the rest of them are like very low. Oh, cute. Yeah, of course, we look on Cute Honey Universe. It's about the female touch different outfits, right? Very classic Sailor Moon character in a sense. Yeah, but Cute Honey is a very classic anime character. Very, very old school. I love the Kodakumi opening. So actually, I'm probably not watching it, but like, yeah, you know, Cute Honey is a very classic anime. Might watch it like a on side trash anime, yeah. Baseball anime. Very yaoi. Let's watch it. Very yaoi. It's like 5 very yaoi. Okay, yeah, more soccer, more sport anime than the weird Nobunaga anime. More sport anime, yeah. This is the baseball anime, baseball soccer. A lot of baseball soccer. You know, shoujo, very shoujo Kodomo anime. This I have no idea actually. More shoujo cute girls, yeah. More, yeah. This season is just more Beyblade, yeah. Awesome. There also some Beyblade. Yeah, more Kodomo show. Yeah, no, Kodomo. This is the end of the video here. Yeah, Kodomo. Yeah, this is the end of the video. There is some movie probably. There was no OVAs that interested me very much, but there was one movie that I was interested in, which is, yeah, obviously, yeah, it's called Geass. Yeah, obviously. So Code Geass is getting season 3, right? That's very interesting. The back is like obviously interesting. If you watch Code Geass, it's a very 2007, yeah, it's 11 years ago now. Yeah, it's also really old. This is the one. Fantastic anime. Recommend it extremely dearly. It's one of the best anime I've watched in my life. It's very deep, very, very in my heart, yeah, Code Geass. So I recommend watching season 1 and 2 of that anime, for that matter. So anyway, hope that's the video. Hope I give you some good ideas for to watch next season. If I wrap it up and say, okay, so I think the beginning here really is like kind of this is the shonen stuff, right? But they are really good though. It's 7 Deadly Sins, it's Souma, it's My Hero, all Darling Fonso Cordia. Very good shonen stuff, very, very shonen. It's very awesome shonen stuff here. Tokyo Ghoul, I think it's gonna be horrible. Grancrest, watch episode 9. It's weird. It's like almost weirder than episode 15 of R0. It's weird, okay, I recommend watching that. Watch my video. Watch my live reaction, yeah. Don't watch that, watch my live reaction. It has like 100 comments. It's crazy. And everyone, yeah, seriously. I have a few other videos with more comments on, but my Grancrest episode 9 live reaction actually has probably, it has the most comments per view at least. Absolutely, it has like, I don't know, 110 or 10 comments I think when I'm recording this thing, based on the views. Yeah, so it's like every 10 viewers I comment something. No average. It has a huge amount of comments per view in the beginning of this. It's yeah, I think everyone got really shocked. So watch my video. forget about the anime. Watch my video, and then yeah, 3D Canyo and this thing. Wotaku, I think is gonna be interesting. The gaming, right? Anime. So anyway, hope you watch the videos, and I'll see you guys next year.